This game's going to be. I mean, as I touched on earlier, can they play against a team that they don't know a lot about? I mean, all the teams that we've called so far, they have information on them. They've seen film about them. Charleroi, I mean, it's a little different area, different.
Film can only take you so much.
Yeah.
So far, excuse me. Man in motion for Albert Gallatin. First play of the game is going to be a handoff to Loring on the right side of the field. Gets to about the 40-yard line of the Cougars.
And it looks like Robinson's going to be quarterback.
Looks like we have the typical setup as far as Robinson, Fabricki hanging around there, Loring.
Ball placed at the 39-yard line is Charleroi.
Charleroi looks like they have some bigger players, I mean, than we are used to seeing physically, at least on their front.
A little bit bigger than we saw at least the last time out against Uniontown. Uniontown, Gary, pretty small of a team, but they have some, not so much height-wise, but a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of 210s, 240s, 270s.
And carried by hit number 44, Sean Loring.
So maybe not so much as tall, but can really make a difference throwing their weight around.
And good for a Colonial first down.
So we already have a first down for Albert Gallatin on the second play of their drive. 10 minutes and 55 seconds and winding in the first quarter, just getting things started.
Albert Gallatin have first and 10. Ball placed at 34-yard line of Charleroi.
Coming up to the line for another play. Touchdown for Albert Gallatin.
And it's not often you see Loring win a foot race like that. I mean,
that was something to see him just take off like that for sure. But that's a quick score for Albert Gallatin. 10:23 left in the first quarter. The Colonials hold on to a 6-0 lead over the Cougars.
Yeah, and if the Cougars defense is going to play like that the whole game, it's going to be a long night for them because the Colonials, they're relentless. I mean,
they're relentless, and it's like you said, we don't see Sean Loring bust off like that too often. It's more of quick drives up the lane as we have an extra point up, and it looks like it was blocked.
Albert Gallatin 6, Charleroi 0, 10:23 left.
So it's going to remain 6-0 in the first quarter. So we'll see what the Cougars can do on offense here coming out for their first drive.
And that's, I think, going to be a big telling point of this game. Are the Cougars able to match the level of intensity that the Colonials bring out on every offensive series?
Absolutely.
I mean, we saw against Uniontown. You had newer guys in there, younger guys in there. They were still able to put up points. I mean,
Albert Gallatin was cycling, not fully, but they were cycling a lot of bench guys into the game, even in the third quarter, just because the gap of margin of victory was so high. But
you have freshmen, sophomores.
Yeah, you have freshmen and sophomores, guys. That's their first action, and they were rolling with them just like the starters were.
Yeah, this is going to be a big definition series for the Cougars.
Albert Gallatin kicks off to the Cougars. Ball's going to be fielded about the 15-yard line. Cuts up the left side of the field. There's a nice hole for Charleroi off the bat. Not quite as far as the Albert Gallatin return.
But great
up to the 35.
Position.
Yeah, up to about the 35-yard line.
Charleroi not having a huge team and number of individuals, but
no. Looking at the roster I have in front of me, they have 27 players, so definitely
looks like maybe a couple injured as well.
Maybe a couple injured, not as much as we're used to seeing, but doesn't mean that they can't have success just the same. Trying to see who the quarterback is going to be for Charleroi here. Just by first glance, it looks like Brendan Harps. 5'9" junior. He's in the shotgun. Toss out to the right side. Looks like it's going to be
carrying the ball number 29 for the Cougars. Tackle made by number 6.
Pellegrini on the carry to the right side. Albert Gallatin sniffs that out very quickly.
And it's just as well as the Colonial offense works. Their defense is equally as matched in ability to make plays, stop plays.
That play was blown
turnovers
up before it could even start, but that's become more of the same from what we've seen. It's going to be 2nd and 13 for the Cougars. Ball's at their own 33-yard line.
Looks like under center now.
Yeah, shifted from the shotgun on the last play. Still going to run a toss, this time to the left side. Also this time carrying the ball is Levi Hutchin.
And I'm always a fan when teams are able to do multiple formations on offense. I mean, when you can go back from shotgun under center, just different looks, it confuses the defense. It makes you more dimensional.
So just like that, we're looking at a 3rd and 11 for the Cougars. They're back to their own 35-yard line. Back under center is Harps. Snap, quick pass to the left side of the field, and that ball is going to be incomplete. Like the quick pass option in that situation. Yeah. Like the quick pass in that situation. It's not too hard to pick up 11 yards on a quick pass, but that will bring up 4th down for the Cougars. So 3 and out on the first possession.
And the Colonials going with a more traditional punt return formation. In previous weeks, we've seen them have 2 guys in backfield. Play more like a deep safety. Safety valve in case there may be a fake. But
we have seen a lot of issues in the same sense in that kind of setup, as far as not a whole lot of blocking whenever the ball comes towards the Colonial returner, as the ball does take a bounce for Albert Gallatin. It's going to be fielded at about the 30-yard line of the Cougars.
And also a lot of confusion, it seems like, when we have 2 guys in the backfield. It's kind of who's going to get the ball, stuff like that. Who's going to get
the ball, but at the same time, if you have a guy back, if you have 2 players back returning, that just takes a blocker away from you.
Exactly,
so makes it a little tougher nonetheless. So Albert Gallatin going to take over for their second possession of the game, holding on to a 6-0 lead, 8:38 left in the first quarter. Ball's at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
A little tougher field position this time around.
Field position this time around. Man in motion, Robinson snaps the ball. Looks like he's going to keep it himself up the right side. Gain a couple yards.
Good first down play.
And on keeper number 4, Tristan Robinson. Tackle made by number 75 of Charleroi, Matthew Alton.
Albert Gallatin going to be looking at a 2nd and 7 from the 34.
Really quiet tonight.
It really is. Surprising. I just thought the same thing there where we had that little pause. Definitely not the same energy that we usually see, but this is also not quite as local of a game. We've been seeing Laurel Highlands and Uniontown as a nice run by effort to the left side of the field.
He's going to get the first down, and he was well aware of where the sticks were.
He absolutely was. He followed his blocking, but he also kept an eye on the sticks the whole time. That's going to end up being a first down for Albert Gallatin as they move down the field a little farther. The 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Albert Gallatin trying to move into Charleroi territory.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Colonials tried to maybe go towards a pass play here, just because they're running the ball so well early.
Yeah, they're finding the holes, so you might as well exercise and see what you can find in the first quarter, because definitely the run game has been one of those successes.
It's good. Yeah.
Man in motion is for Bricky. Quick handoff to Loring from a fullback snap, and he's going to easily have the first down as half the Cougar defense brings him down.
It hasn't been fun to watch him all year.
It really has.
I mean, it's amazing watching him not only hit the hole with power, but be able to sustain that power through multiple tacklers, multiple yards, and just able to get what they need. I mean, he's the guy, if you need 7 yards, he'll get you 8.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the more interesting things to me regarding Loring, Tommy, is he's a junior.
Yeah, so I mean,
so
you
have
one
a whole
year.
Other year
exactly.
on top of the success that he's having this year. Another first down play for Albert Gallatin. Going to be a rollout by the quarterback. Looked like a bit of an option play.
Yeah.
But Robinson is swallowed up.
Which is a rare sight, honestly, for this Colonial offense.
It really is. It really is one of the few not successful plays that they may have for the whole game. Because lately they've been nothing but success. The last 2 games, 55-0 and 57, I believe I saw 57 or 52. Was it 57-0? Yeah, so 107-0 in the last 2 games for Albert Gallatin, so they don't make too many mistakes.
No. And when they do, they tend to correct them very quickly.
Yes. 2nd and 11 for Albert Gallatin. Quick snap. Pass back to Fabricki. He's up the right side. He could be gone. He's all the way down to the 25-yard line, but he is pushed out by Charleroi. That was
impressive.
That was a textbook option play.
And I think what amazed me the most on that was how fast he got 20 yards downfield.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was just like, there he is.
But meanwhile, it's what we talk about week after week. He was almost running in slow motion again because I was watching him watch the holes for making jukes, making football moves to gain those yards. Albert Gallatin moving down the field now in Cougar territory. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line, looking for their 2nd score of the first quarter. Man in motion. Robinson snaps the ball. It's going to be blown up right around the line of scrimmage.
Ball number 44, Sean Loring. Tackle made by number 75, Donnie Boyd. Correction, Matthew Alton.
And that's another stop by the Cougars, so maybe they're onto something on how to stop this offense.
They could be putting it together a little bit on defense, and it is more than early enough to get this train on track.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of time in the game. It's a 6-0 game.
Robinson under center. Fabricki's the man in motion to the right side. Drop pass. Here's a pass, Tommy, and it looks like a decent one. Going to be a fight for the ball in the end zone, and the catch is made for a touchdown. Dylan Shea. Fantastic pass by Robinson. Fantastic catch by Shea. He had a man all over him in coverage, but it's going to result in an Albert Gallatin touchdown, 12-0 with 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first quarter.
And that's what happens. I mean, when you live defense trying to stop the run consistently, you're going to run into issues.
Oh, absolutely.
Looks like the swinging gate play. And incomplete.
Almost. Similar, I think, what we saw was at the Colts a couple years back in the NFL, a play that still keeps going over and over. Albert Gallatin, it did not result in a 2-point conversion. However, it was a little more success than they had. 12-0 Albert Gallatin lead have scored on both of their possessions, one rushing, one passing.
And you have to like the creativity. I mean,
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Arguably, just because it's been a crazy season, there's been some games added on. There's been some games canceled back and forth. This could be the last game for both teams, so might as well go for it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know if we touched on it, but the Colonials are 4-1 right now, and this has to be their best season in – I mean, last year was a winning season, correct?
I want to say yes. I think it was if there were 9 games, which there usually is in a regular season. It might have been 5-4.
5-4.
I think it was just on the threshold of being a winning season.
Where, I mean, this year, I mean, I think, at least in my opinion, they've reached another level in ability to compete and –
their one loss as well is to the University Hawks High School in Morgantown, West Virginia, who – has a very good football program, so one loss to them, I wouldn't be kicking myself too much.
No, not at all. Charleroi is going to get another chance at some offense here, maybe evaluate how the first series was. I mean, not a whole lot going on, but now you see what the Colonial defense is going to do, and you try to adapt and move forward.
Charleroi going to try for some success here. 4:32 left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Harps under center, drops back, rolls out to the right side, try for a pass. It was kind of a modified screen pass.
Yeah, that was a good catch. Really nice catch.
It is a good catch. It is caught by Barrick. He is brought down almost immediately.
That definitely took a lot of skill. I mean, defender was all over him, and he was still able to hold on to the ball.
That was a great catch. Great pass, too, with a lot of men
on the move.
In pressure from Albert Gallatin. It was a good pass on the move. That brings up 2nd and 8 for the Cougars. Ball now at the 36. Harp snaps the ball. Quick handoff to the left side. Nice little chunky yards gained.
And that was definitely a blitz by the Colonials. And
Yeah.
Loring just was on the opposite side. I mean, at that point, what are you going to do?
Absolutely.
Dylan Edwards, tackle man number 21, James Marvin.
Edwards on the carry for the Cougars.
Third down and 5 for the Cougars. Ball played
3rd and 5, and Colonials big play here.
This
You
is
need
a
to-
big play
yeah.
for Albert Gallatin's defense. 3rd and 5 from the 41-yard line. They've already stopped the Cougars once. Let's see if they can do it a second time. Harp's under center. Snaps back. Another quick handoff to the left side. He's going to be swallowed up immediately. Albert Gallatin is going to hold Charleroi to another 4th down.
And I think that play was everybody on defense just doing their job.
That was
I mean, you
everybody
could see that
finding the
everybody
ball.
did their assignment on that. And I mean,
That was
usually
11
that's what
guys
you
to
need
the
to
ball.
do, yeah.
That
I
was
mean-
11 guys to the ball.
Ball placed at their own
Looks like
40-yard
Charleroi in the first quarter here going to go for it
Yeah.
on 4th down.
which I mean, you're in an awkward spot, I think, field position wise.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing we've said about Albert Gallatin. You can try it.
Yeah.
Might as well go for it.
I mean, it's 4th and 2.
4th
it
and
looks
2
like,
from
yeah.
the 42-yard line. Oh, the ball is snapped back, but it looks like it
fumble. It
looks like it was fumbled between the center and Harps. Not sure if we're blowing that play dead or if Albert Gallatin will take over on downs.
And it looks like they will take over, and that hurts because I mean,
over first.
you didn't even
Yeah,
get a chance to do what you
did not
thought
even get a
you had
chance to
drawn
do.
up. Yeah,
So Albert Gallatin takes over in Cougar territory. It is now a 1st and 10 for Albert Gallatin from the 42-yard line after the bobbled snap. Albert Gallatin, 2 out of 3 drives, will now start in fantastic field
Yep.
position.
let's see if they can get 3 for 3 on scores.
Let's find out. Robinson with the man in motion. Quick snap, quick handoff to Loring up the right side. He's going to fight for a couple yards. That's more or less what we're used to seeing,
Yeah.
but we're okay with anything from him.
Yeah, for sure.
And carrying the ball number Sean Loring.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Colonials start doing stuff a little different just because of how effortlessly they've been.
Second down and 5.
That's kind of the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
no matter what, I mean, they've had, 2 miscues as far as plays go, give or take.
Yeah,
But everything, I mean, that was a 5-yard gainer, and
that was one of their
that's on
quieter
the lower
plays.
ends, yeah, of yards gained. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 from the Cougar 37. Minute 35 and winding in the first quarter. Robinson has the man in motion. A lot of activity in the backfield, but it's going to end up being a handoff to Fabricki. Fabricki's all the way down to the 10-5, and he's going to walk into the end zone. That's another
Wow.
touchdown for Albert Gallatin.
Bruno Fabricki of Albert Gallatin. Touchdown, Colonials.
That's, I think, 2 to 3 runs for Fabricki.
Yeah.
They've all been for 20-plus yards, and now a touchdown.
And the kickoff return.
And the kickoff
Yeah.
return. He had a fantastic kickoff return. It was the opening kickoff of the game.
Good quarter for him, pretty much.
Good quarter for him. Now, here we go, Tommy. It looks like there's going to be a little more trickery here from Albert Gallatin for a 2-point conversion try. Minute 19 left in the first quarter. Albert Gallatin holding on to an 18-0 lead. Ball's back. Robinson passes it to the man that hiked it to him, who was, I believe, Dylan Shea, and that's
Yep.
going to be a good for a 2-point conversion. That was interesting.
One thing interesting with that play, funny enough, there are usually 3 options you have there. You have where you throw it to a guy who is on the left side of the field with the offensive line, sitting back as a
absolutely.
receiver. You have throw to the center that we saw there, or you have the option of doing the quick flick to the wide out on the right. So we've seen 2 of the 3 options. Maybe next 2-point conversion, we'll see the third.
Yeah, well, it might just be running through the sequence here.
Might as well.
It's that kind of game, Tommy. Might as well just go for it. Scores 20-0 with a minute 19 left in the first quarter. Albert Gallatin getting set to kick off to Charleroi.
And Charleroi needs a spark. They need something. I mean, you can see their sidelines flat right now. It's tough when you're down early. It's really hard to find motivation.
Absolutely. As the Charleroi kicks the return, we backed up a couple yards trying to look for a hole. We might have found one on the right side. Returning the ball is Jace Johnson. Albert Gallatin runs the player out of bounds.
That was a good return.
That was a good return, yeah. Patient running will get you somewhere. Charleroi takes over from the 37-yard line. Trying to break into Albert Gallatin territory.
Which I don't think we've seen so far tonight.
I don't believe so. They were close with the former sequence, but that drive did end in a 4th down. Quick handoff to the left side of the field. Here's a nice run for Charleroi. Nice little spark from Bursick.
And just like that, they break into Colonial territory.
Yep, there you go. That's a nice little run for Charleroi. Get the Cougars moving on offense. First down run.
A lot of big blocks on that play. A lot of Colonials down early. And, I mean, once you bring in that secondary, you don't know what could happen.
The Cougars down to the Albert Gallatin 48-yard line. Still a little ways to go, but if they're running plays like that, it shouldn't take too long before they find the end zone.
Looks like maybe a timeout.
Heard some whistles, just trying to see what's going on the field here. Stoppage of play.
Maybe an injury. That's what it looks like, an injury.
Yeah, that could. On the far sideline.
Yeah.
Okay. We line up on the visitor sideline, so a little harder to see what the situation is on the opposite side. But yeah, I would say you're on it on that one, Tommy. Looks like that's exactly what happened. Looks like we're going to get things rolling again. Charleroi coming back to the field. Waiting for a first down play. 1st and 10 from the Albert Gallatin 48-yard line.
A little bit of confusion, it looks like, with Charleroi's offense.
And nonetheless, snaps back. It was a fake handoff.
Good job of
Harps
getting it off. I mean, that was great.
That was a great throw under pressure. It is completed, but it does look like it ends up behind the line of scrimmage.
Still, though, I mean, able to avoid the sack, that was impressive.
And that's the end of your first quarter. Your score, Albert.
Well, that's the play that's going to run out the first quarter. 20-0 is the lead for Albert Gallatin. We're headed into the second. Well, Tommy, kind of an interesting game we've seen so far. I mean, Albert Gallatin's having great success. That's now 2 straight games plus 1 quarter that they have not given up a point to an opponent.
Yeah, and I mean, Charleroi, I don't know. Their offense, it's not like they're having bad plays. I mean, I just feel like they're not able to advance the ball. I mean, that's just what the issue is. I mean, we've seen one play that really worked by design so far, and hopefully that's going to be a common trend.
Charleroi already coming back onto the field, ready to start the second quarter of play. It's kind of interesting, Tommy, like we said, we commented about kind of the crowd. It's just kind of very stagnant this evening, but it's almost like people here have come to expect this kind of performance.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quiet evening, and it's very odd because, I mean, if you look over at the home sideline, I mean, there are fans here and definitely.
Yeah, decent numbers this evening. Probably the best numbers that they've been able to have all season. Charleroi's going to take over. Well, restart their drive, I should say. Play's not going too much of anywhere. Quick running play to get the second quarter started. Going to bring up a 3rd down for the Cougars.
Tackle made by number 21, James Marvin at the Colonials.
3rd and 8 for Charleroi.
Yeah, I mean, I would say big play, but I mean, they're all big plays at this point when you're down by 20.
Absolutely. You can have to assume that probably going to be trying to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely 4
barring they don't have success on this 3rd down play. But seeing them going for it in the first quarter, that would probably lead you to believe that they would continue to do so as the third down play is blown up in the backfield. Colonials bring the pressure. Ball's batted down at the line of scrimmage.
I think that was Loring that got a hand on it. It looked like.
He was in the vicinity.
Sure. Yeah, he was definitely
in the vicinity.
Dylan Shea of the Colonials.
So it's going to bring up a 4th and 8 for Charleroi from the Albert Gallatin 46-yard line. They did cross over into Colonial territory on this drive. And it looks like we will have a punting formation at least. We'll see if ball's actually punted. High snap, but controlled by the punter.
Ooh,
Ball's
he was
away.
able to get off.
There was a hand on that ball, I think, but it was a great punt nonetheless. Yeah, it's going to roll out of bounds around the 15-yard line.
That's a respectable punt.
Yeah, not bad at all. He had a lot of men in his face, a little trouble with the snap, but that was a great kick. Great kick, very successful if you can get your opponent inside the 20. Albert Gallatin set to take back over. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line.
15-yard line. Also have 1st and 10.
Albert Gallatin trying to build on their 20-0 lead.
And this is the best position the Cougars have had the Colonials in on defense. I mean, so
this is
long field for the Colonials to work with.
This is the farthest back that they've had them pinned. Robinson putting a man in motion as he usually does. It's going to be a quick toss to Loring. Loring's going to drive ahead with a man on his back.
Yeah. I mean, I'll carry the football and I'll carry a player. I mean, it's almost unbelievable. There is a flag, though, so we'll see what happens with that.
Holding on Albert Gallatin. It's going to be a repeat of the first down. I think it was the first flag of the game.
Yeah,
pretty clean game up till this point. One holding penalty is not too awful,
which
though.
Isn't something that we've really seen all season. I mean,
No,
we've had
it
some
hasn't.
Very choppy games at times.
Yes.
And with the penalty, a loss of
Yeah, I thought I saw the flag come in there as the play was going on, but that's the first thing I went to. I thought, oh, that's
First
not
one,
too used to not seeing a whole lot of flags.
We've had a lot of delay of game penalties.
Yes,
I feel like
we
that's
have.
been the trend of the season.
Which you don't see a whole lot of at any level, but that's been the case as there's a toss to the left side. I think that's Effort running up the left side with the ball. It is, and he finds a hole. He broke loose. He's past midfield, got one man to beat down to the 30, 20, 15, 10. He's got a blocker, and he's going to walk into the end zone.
Great run. It
That
looks
was
like
a fantastic run. No flags. No flags on that play. I'm sure that they're okay with having the flag on the previous play. But that's going to result in another Albert Gallatin touchdown. That was roughly about a 90-yard touchdown run for Effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean,
the Colonial blocking this evening has been fantastic. They have locked down every gap. They have created every hole, and that is why you see a 26-0 lead to start the second quarter. Albert Gallatin looking like they're shifting back to kicking extra points now that they've had success on the 2-point conversion.
Blocking's going to be key.
Yeah, Bowers is set to put up the extra point for Albert Gallatin. He did on their first score, and it was blocked. Do we have another injury potentially?
It looks like we have a
looking
trainer
at the
out there.
referees
Yeah.
over on the opposite side of the field, and there is a trainer with them. But we have another stoppage nonetheless. Well, Tommy, I'm not sure what we're discussing, but
this is an odd collection of people, but
correct me if I'm wrong, but that was a trainer.
Yeah, that was definitely a trainer.
With the referees. Unless one of the referees needed some attention.
Which could be it.
I mean,
that could easily be.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Especially on a long play like that,
Yeah.
and a lot of field being covered.
it happens. Looks like we're ready to get set again. Albert Gallatin going for an extra point try after another score. Kick is up. It's got the distance, and it's good. 27-0 lead with 10 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the second quarter for the Albert Gallatin Colonials.
And I think this is the quickest start we've seen the Colonials have against an opponent.
You know, I think the highest amount of points that I've seen this season at the half for Albert Gallatin, I believe it was against the Laurel Highlands. They had 26, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so we're already at 27 with
a lot of football left.
Two-thirds of the second quarter to go. Now, we did see Laurel Highlands, come alive a little bit towards the end of that game.
Definitely a good season opener that game was for the Colonials.
Absolutely.
I mean, definitely hometown rivalry.
Well, you can't beat a win over any rivalry.
Yeah.
But Albert Gallatin and Laurel Highlands, that's quite a big one.
Especially a lot of hype into that game. A lot of, Laurel Highlands confidence, I guess you would say. I mean, big game.
Yeah.
And I mean, Colonials haven't let off the gas really since then.
Pretty much everybody had their sights on Laurel Highlands for that game, but Albert Gallatin kind of shocked everybody, and they have not yet stopped this season.
No, not really. I mean, besides the hiccup against University, which,
right.
I mean, you can expect that. Yeah, I mean
it's Pennsylvania going into West Virginia, but University, they have a very respectable football program.
For sure. And
it's been maybe a little on the downhill slide the past couple of years, but I think they've definitely picked it up this season as Albert Gallatin kicks off. Ball is going to Charleroi. It's going to be returned at about the 8-yard line. Cutting all the way to the opposite side of the field is the return man for Charleroi, and he's going to be bottled up. I'd say that's probably around the 14-yard line.
And he probably ran about 50 yards to get to
where he is. He ran quite a bit of yardage. Ball's going to be on the 15. We'll say he received it at the 8. So, like you said, Tommy, if he ran 40 to 50 yards to gain about 7.
Yeah.
10-10 left and a half.
Colonial defense would like to get I think turnover would be.
Yes.
Just icing on the cake at this
their
point.
defense has been dominant this year, but something we haven't seen a ton of. We have seen them, but we haven't seen a lot of turnovers.
No.
They don't force a whole lot of turnovers. There have been some, like
a couple interceptions. We had the pick 6 last
here and there, yes. But not as many as you would expect for a full season of football, so something like that
especially
would be great
a good
for
defense,
because,
I would consider them a good
fantastic defense. Charleroi is going to run their first play from the 15-yard line, and it's not going anywhere. Going to bring up second down for the Cougars. Well, we had the
looks like a timeout.
I was going to say run by Hutchin for Charleroi, but we do have a timeout for Charleroi. Referee's microphone cut out there for a split
second. It was very subtle.
Oh, the officials for this evening's game as well, now that I have been past that information, is Mitch. But that's a tough one, Tommy. You want to help me with that one?
Bachuckin,
we'll go with it. Tyler McGowan, Nick Barron, Al Marcy, Manny Rodriguez, and Brandon Ames. It got easier as we went down. That was a little bit tough at the beginning there, but that's okay. So apologies if we said that incorrectly, but we try our best.
Band is here, just to note that, making some noise. I think tonight was their senior night, I believe.
You would be correct, Tommy. They actually, for the first time, I believe, this season, were able to make it to the field this evening to start the game for the national anthem and the players coming onto the field, which they have primarily been remaining in the stands. So good to see that, progress.
Yep. No flag on the play.
Could it be a delay of game?
Wouldn't be surprising.
Encroachment, 69
Encroachment on the defense. That was a second guess.
That's a little more common.
A little more common, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Trying to run a second down play here after the timeout and the flag. It's going to end up being a 2nd and 5. From the Cougars' own 20-yard line, 27-point Albert Gallatin lead in the second quarter. And that is what you would think would be, I'm not sure if that is a fumble, well, I don't want to say encroachment. That was a rush by Albert Gallatin, a hit in the backfield. Harps throws the ball backwards. It lands in the Albert Gallatin end zone. I mean, to me, Tommy, that's a fumble and a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, because it definitely rolled out of bounds then.
Well, it was recovered in the end zone by Albert Gallatin, and if you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, if it's not a forward pass, I would say that's a fumble.
It's an incomplete pass. No, not incomplete. The rolling is the quarterback was stopped here. Third down.
Yeah,
well, it's going to be ruled an incomplete pass.
That is a
he's going to be ruled down by contact, I should say. They're going to rule the quarterback down by
forward
contact.
Of progress.
Yes, that's a better way to put it. So they're going to rule the quarterback for Charleroi down by contact before he throws the ball. Therefore, nothing that happened after that is on the books at that point. So it's going to end up being a 3rd and 15. Harps is going to roll out and throw a ball. Nice little screen pass. He had a heck of a pocket there, and that's going to be a heck of a hit from Albert Gallatin.
Yeah, that was a big hit.
That was a big hit. No.
By 3 Colonials.
Yes, that was all men to the ball once again.
Number 8, Tyler Frizzell, the Colonials.
Nice structured play, and it was working to success. They just didn't quite get there.
And it looks like the punt unit's going to come out.
It's going to bring up 4th down for Charleroi.
For the Cougars, ball placed at about the 19-yard line of Charleroi.
4th and 6. So ended up gaining 9 yards. That's a nice little play. Just not quite far enough in that situation. Fabricki's going to field the ball, and he's going to muff it. Charleroi is going to recover. So, Tommy, there's a miscue from the Albert Gallatin return team.
And that's the second time this season we've seen Fabricki muff a punt.
It is. So Charleroi will get a nice chunk of yards out of that play. That's one way to convert on a 4th down. Not that that's technically a 4th down conversion, but
it works.
It works. Charleroi will maintain the ball. It's going to end up being a 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line, so they're sniffing Albert Gallatin territory.
Yeah, and I mean, Fabricki had to sense the pressure. They were right there. I mean,
I've never returned a punt in my life, but I might have let that one bounce. It's going to be an incomplete pass, bobbled by Porter.
Covering on a play number 8, Tyler Frizzell, the Colonials.
Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Cougars.
And if the Colonial defense can stop them again, that's huge because, I mean, you're able to fight through your mistakes.
That's what I was going to say, Tommy. It's kind of like what we talked about earlier. They may make a mistake, but they usually make up for it pretty immediately. So we'll see. I would say that would be a good way to make up for it is getting the ball back once again. Snap back, quick handoff for Charleroi. Going to be wrapped up after a couple-yard gain. Hutchins on the run for the Cougars.
That's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd and about, I'd say 6 maybe, 6 or 7.
3rd and 7 is the official, so you were pretty close there. So Hutchins got up a little gingerly. He's been a workhorse for Charleroi this evening, taking a lot of hits. Ball is right at midfield, winding clock, 7 minutes and 42 seconds left in the second quarter. 27-0 Albert Gallatin lead. Charleroi faces another 3rd down this time. Well, they've adjusted it to 3rd and 6. Looks like we have another timeout. Charleroi.
That's a wise timeout. Big 3rd down play.
Absolutely. So Charleroi will be down to 1 timeout for the remainder of the half. Albert Gallatin still has all 3 of theirs. 7:28 left in the second quarter.
And now you're looking, I mean, Charleroi around 4th down territory. I mean, going for it. I mean,
well, yeah,
midfield.
I would say, I mean, you know, 3rd and say you get even 2 yards here, say if they don't get the first down. I mean, 4th and 4, down 27. You can go for that.
Yeah.
You're in the opponent's territory if you crack a yard or two. That's totally fine to go for on that note.
Because let's be honest, field position hasn't mattered for the Colonials scoring. I mean, they've
exactly.
proven that they could score from anywhere.
Exactly. Charleroi going to run that 3rd down play.
Able to get that throw off.
He is, I'll tell you what, Harps for Charleroi. Charleroi may not be having success on the scoreboard, but he has definitely been a bright spot for this team. He is making the throws with men right in his face. He's making the throws on the run.
For the Cougars.
So we do have that short yardage situation on a 4th down that we were talking about, because even though it was a nice pass from Harps, they still face a 4th down. The Cougars do. Shuffling some personnel around.
Looks like they are going to go for it, which is understandable.
Oh, absolutely. 4th and 2. You broke into opponent territory. That's okay to go for this one.
If you're Charleroi, I mean, I wouldn't move away from the passing game.
No, I mean, you have a quarterback that's making some great throws with men right in his face as he does draw. Oh, I take that back. It was a quick handoff and stopped up at the line of scrimmage.
And that's been a common trend. But, I mean, when they go to, the passing game, they're able to most of the time get the ball downfield. I mean, it may not be a big splash play, but, I mean, they're able to make progress most of the time.
Absolutely, yeah. That was interesting play calls, but have to try it nonetheless. So Albert Gallatin will take over 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line, so right around midfield. 6:27 left in the second quarter.
And this may be a pass play just by the wide receiver shuffling.
I wouldn't be surprised. Robinson drops back. It is a pass. It is overthrown. Intended receiver is Dylan Shea.
Great pressure by the Cougars there, able to get in the backfield and be in Robinson's face.
I'll tell you something I noticed, Tommy, because it's a little quieter in here. I've noticed this just now as opposed to any other game. I can hear the referee talking, or not talking, counting down before the play is run.
Huh.
See if you notice it as the game goes on, but I did notice the line judge right in front of us here. He was counting before the ball was snapped. So, obviously they do keep track of that delay of game.
Yeah. Yep, I just heard it.
Yep. This is going to be a handoff play for Albert Gallatin on 2nd down.
I think if it was up to Laura, he could let that play go a little more.
Yeah, I would say so. They blew that dead pretty quickly, but it's going to be a nice defensive stop from Charlotte. We're going to bring up a 3rd down and about 12 for Albert Gallatin.
And I'm going to make a little call on this one. I'm thinking for Bricky outside run.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. We can't necessarily bet because I would pick the same thing, but let's see what happens. Fabricki is out there. Well, like we said, Tommy, the usual crew for Albert Gallatin: Robinson, Fabricki, Loring, Shea, Efford. Efford's the man in motion, speaking of which. Going to be a quick toss to Fabricki to the right side. Going to find a hole. He's all the way down the field. Wow. 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's going to walk into the end zone once again.
And That was fun to watch because it didn't look like he had much room to work
It
with.
really did not, but he turned nothing into something as Albert Gallatin will now take a 33-0 lead over the Charleroi Cougars.
I think he made up for that muff punt.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that the fourth down stop from Albert Gallatin, their defense as a whole made up for the mistake, but I think that he took it personally and he just made up for it on his own. Not saying that he really had to make anything up. He's already had some fantastic runs.
He's
as
had,
well as a touchdown
2-3 scores already?
But
regardless,
never hurts to help fade the mistake away a little bit. Albert Gallatin going for 2 once again instead of an extra point kick. It's going to be a run from Loring. I take that back. It was not Loring. It was a little bit of a fake. Might have been for Bricky again.
I don't know. It looked
I'm
like
not
maybe
sure
Robinson,
if it was for Bricky or Robinson
Robinson
keeper.
had the ball.
Robinson keeper, yeah. So that 2-point conversion is unsuccessful for Albert Gallatin. So the score is going to remain 33-0 in favor of the Colonials. 5:23 left before halftime. And Tommy, I always have an issue with this one. I know mercy rule. 34 points, 35 points, or 36?
36.
36 points. Sorry, we were getting
word from our producer.
We were getting some hand signals from the most knowledgeable person that's in the operation.
Not saying much.
Albert Gallatin's going to kick off to Charleroi. He's going to return. Find a nice little hole there. He's going to get wrapped up around the 35-yard line, but nice little return for Charleroi.
Yeah, good field position to start out. Hopefully be able to get something going, get some offense rolling, and get a couple first downs and see what happens.
Absolutely. Charleroi's going to take over on offense once again. While we wait for the players and the referees to get set, I'll mention very quickly that you can watch us live on YouTube. Should be by the end of the day, maybe tomorrow. You can rewatch on YouTube, and then we will be airing on Channel 77 on FCTV. A couple ways you can catch the game. First and 10 for the Cougars.
Shotgun formation. I like the setup.
Yeah, it's something we haven't seen since early in the game, but that's also going to buy him a little more time back in there. As there's a quick toss to the right side.
I think that was a wide receiver or a running back pass. It looked like
it was
something different.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah, there was something.
It wasn't an orthodox play.
Yeah.
Number 72, Dayton Bircher.
Might have been a pass run option by the running back.
It could have been.
Loss of 10 on the play, brings up second down and 20.
It could have been. It was blown up a little too quickly to develop. Second and 20 now for the Cougars. .427 and winding in the second quarter. Second and 20 from their own 25-yard line. Cougars looking to run a play. Harps under center. Going to be a quick handoff and brought down at the line of scrimmage.
And it's a long third down play coming up.
Very long third down play after the run from Bursick.
By number 10, Jason Bowers of the Colonials. Also assisting on the tackle, number 60, Brian Andrews. And brings up third down and 18 for the Cougars.
So third and 18, winding clock, 3:38 left until halftime. Cougars at their own 27-yard line.
Looks like a pretty spread formation right now for the Cougars.
Shotgun snap, nice quick pass over
Quick
the middle.
release, and I mean he almost had him.
He almost had him. That was a nice throw. A lot of heat behind that one. Just unfortunately incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like punt unit, which is completely acceptable where
Yes.
you're at.
Yes, 4th and 18.
Ball
On the 27-yard line in your own territory, I would opt for the punt in this situation. Albert Gallatin already holding on to a 33-0 lead, going to have the ball once again for a quick possession. More than likely will end out the half. That's a great punt. Fabricki drops another. Fabricki drops another. He does recover this one. He's up the left side of the field, finds a window. He's all the way down to the Cougar, about 41-yard line.
Wow. He likes making this interesting.
He does. He does. He was ready to run before he caught the ball. That time, he finds a nice hole after recovering.
And the Colonials will have 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line.
So Albert Gallatin with great starting position once again, 1st and 10 from the Charleroi 41-yard line.
And the goal for Charleroi is to stop him here so you don't have a 39 to 41 point deficit going into the half.
Yes. Usual formation, quick handoff to Loring. Oh, the ball pops right out of Loring's hands. That's going to be a fumble. That was a great swipe at the ball. Not sure which player from Charleroi had it, but they punched the ball right out of Loring's hands, and that's an easy turnover for the Cougars.
And now Charleroi has to capitalize on that momentum and really
keep that energy,
hammer it down.
Yes.
Whatever trick you have up your sleeve, do it and see what happens.
So Charleroi going to take back over on offense after the nice turnover. 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Harps in the shotgun. Ball's back, fake handoff, and he's going to be demolished in the backfield. He's going to let go of the ball. Luckily, Charleroi is able to recover.
Loring almost grabbed that ball right back off the ground.
Yes. Luckily, Charleroi recovers in the backfield.
Big hit on the quarterback.
Tackle on the play, number 6, Dylan Shea of the Colonials. And Charleroi recovers the fumble.
I just can't believe how quiet it is, Robbie. I mean, it's very...
It's interesting.
About the 24-yard line of Charleroi.
You would think the crowd for Albert Gallatin would definitely be into it, but it's just they're not. I don't know.
Oh, nice hole for Charleroi. Picks up a couple yards. I do see a flag on the play.
Might have been a hold. That's a holding territory, I think, but we'll see.
Carrying the ball for the Cougars, number 32, Tyler Bursick, but we have a flag on the play.
It's like an inadvertent flag?
Yeah.
Don't think there was didn't sound like there was a
call on it.
Yeah, didn't sound like there was too much of a call on the field. So play will stand for Charleroi, 3rd and 15. Harp's going to look for an area to throw the ball. It's going to be a quick pass and a couple.
I think it's going to be.
No, 2 players have hands on the ball.
Wow. Oh, they're going to say interception by Colonials.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Good, but number 2, Bruno Fabricki.
They're going to rule an interception by Bruno Fabricki from Albert Gallatin. That was.
I'm interested to see.
That was an interesting.
Yeah, I mean that was a.
I mean, Two guys had hands on the ball. That's an interesting way to.
And I think the justification is going to be that Fabricki had possession when he was down, and then after anything after that, it's just nullified.
I would say that's probably the right mindset on that one. Albert Gallatin lining up 1st and 10, minute 30 left in the half. Robinson rolls out. It's going to whip the ball to the left side. It's going to be a completed catch.
Dylan Shea.
Catch is made by number 6, Dylan Shea of the Colonials. Tackle made by number 11, Jace Johnson of Charleroi. And good for Colonial first down.
If you're the Colonials, you definitely want to try to get one last score there to really make an emphasis.
What happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens here. Minute 23 left in the half. Albert Gallatin moving the ball. Now another 1st and 10 from the Cougar 28-yard line.
Minute 23 left in the half.
Man in motion is for Fabricki. Robinson drops back, going to throw the ball again. Whips the ball towards the end zone. That's going to be an incompletion.
That was great coverage.
That was fantastic coverage. They've had some success through. Albert Gallatin, I should say, has had some success throwing the ball, but Charleroi coverage
is all over.
It's there.
I mean,
it's there.
I think that's the first time this season we've seen back-to-back pass plays.
I think so too.
Yeah. So I mean,
at least at home.
Yeah. I mean, as far as we've observed.
Second and 10 for the Colonials from the 28. Man in motion. Robinson rolls to the right side. He's going to hang on to it himself, but he's going to be taken down.
That's a minimal gain there, yeah.
Pretty immediately.
Number 64, Joshua Rodeball.
So 3rd and 8, clock's winding inside of a minute for until halftime. Excuse me.
You know, a play I'd like to see at Colonials. I mean, it's a little late in the season now, but to establish, I could see them having a very successful attempt at a reverse because they have the playmakers.
Yeah.
I mean, they set up nicely for interior runs. I mean, to where an outside reverse would be completely unexpected.
We do have a fake. Looks like it's going to end up being effort getting the ball. Another great stop by the Charleroi defense.
That's going nowhere.
And carry the ball number 3.
Tommy, that will bring up 4th down for Albert Gallatin. I would say that's going to wind out our half. 15 seconds and counting. Albert Gallatin in no hurry to run a 4th down play.
No.
Oh, we do have a
timeout
whistle.
AG, yeah.
Well, that's an interesting call.
I thought if anything they'd maybe call a timeout with like a second left just so they have the last play. But
true,
I mean, 8 seconds, you leave the room.
I mean, if you take a run play, I mean, it'll wind out before you can reset chains or, anything like that.
Another thing I thought maybe a field goal. Well, it looks like that's what we're going to have.
I think that is what we're going to have.
It crossed my mind, but I thought maybe that's a little out of the range.
We're just not used to it. Yeah, we're just not used to it. So Bowers is going to come in to attempt the field goal.
Which we know he has the leg. I mean,
he does have
the
leg.
Yeah,
we've watched him in warm-up several times this season, and he's hit some pretty respectable field goals. Now that is in a warm-up setting. So this is going to end up being right around a 45-yard field goal with 8 seconds to go in the half. See what we can do.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see this. Yeah. Snaps back, holds down. Kick is up, and it's going to be short. The field goal attempt is no good, which will run the clock out. 45 yards. That was a little far. Little far. He
that's out of the
definitely
range, yeah.
He definitely had a leg, but that was a little far for that one. But nonetheless, Albert Gallatin controls a 33-0 lead over the Charleroi Cougars. That's the end of the first half. I'm Rob Flockovich alongside Tommy Victor. We will be back to bring you the second half in a little bit.
The Fine Arts Department at Albert Gallatin is proud to present the Colonial Marching Band. This year's show, entitled Standing Still But Still Standing, is comprised of 2 boy band tunes from then and now. First up, Larger Than Life by the Backstreet Boys. Next, you will hear Sucker by the Jonas Brothers. Give another round of applause for our Albert Gallatin Colonial Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. C.J. Durso, assisted by Mr. Charles Gibson, auxiliary coordinator Mrs. Amber Hildock, and percussion instructor Miss Elizabeth Rockwell. This year's drum majors are Chaz Berkshire and Seth Springsteen. We want to thank everyone who has supported the Fine Arts Department during this pandemic, and let's go AG!
Buckle up for safety, buckle up. Buckle up for safety, always buckle up. Put your mind at ease, tell your riders, please get your seat belts buckled, everybody buckle up.
The National Safety Council says if you don't have seat belts, get them. If you do have seat belts, use them.
Once there was a little boy who liked to visit his friends, the trees.
Hello, tree.
Hello, boy.
How's the little fella today?
Now, the little boy had a lot of fun with his friends and learned some very interesting facts about the trees. Their roots hold vital soil in place and prevent erosion. Their leaves replenish the oxygen in the air. Their summer shade preserves the moisture. Their falling leaves enrich and protect the soil, making a better world for all of us. Yes, trees are everybody's friends. So the next time you're visiting your friends, the trees, make sure you crush out cigarettes. Make sure you drown out campfires.
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Welcome back to York Run Stadium. I'm Rob Flockovich alongside Tommy Victor here to bring you the second half of Albert Gallatin and Charleroi. Albert Gallatin hanging on to a 33-0 lead to get things started in the third quarter. Tommy, it's been an interesting game, very successful for Albert Gallatin, but just kind of playing football, not a whole lot of other emotion or anything going on. Just
business as usual.
Yeah, just kind of casually watching football. Albert Gallatin's going to kick the ball off to start the second half. Charleroi on the return. Slow return. Found a couple holes. Not a bad little return.
Good starting position.
Good starting position. Charleroi's going to start off at the 35-yard line. First drive of the second half.
Second half, number 13, Glenn Porter. Tackle made number 50, Philip Dennis of the Colonials.
So
let's see, I think we're up to the 35-yard line. Sorry, there was a little discrepancy where the placement of the ball was going to be. What were you going to say there, Tommy? I didn't mean to catch
No,
you
you're
off.
good. You're good. I was just saying, what do you expect Charleroi to make adjustment-wise coming into third quarter? I mean, you have some time during halftime to look things over, talk it over.
Yeah. You know, Tommy, it's kind of tough to say with these guys because we watch Uniontown, we watch Laurel Highlands, we watched Brook High School out of West Virginia. You know, they were kind of cemented to the running game. They were kind of cemented to the passing game. This, that, and the other. These guys are kind of trying everything. So it's kind of tough to say. I'd like to see some, blocking go over a little better because Harps is, he's had some great opportunities throwing the ball, but he's just had a lot of men in his face as Charleroi does take a timeout to start the third quarter here.
Which is a very odd sequence, I guess. I mean, you come out halftime, you have, 15 minutes to talk about, and you decide to take a timeout on your first play. But, I mean, if you have something that you feel very confident about and want to run,
sure,
you want to make sure you have everything in line.
Sure. So we are going to still be to 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Going to see the first action of the quarter, aside from the return. Handoff to the left side, going to be sniffed out immediately by the Albert Gallatin defense.
Oh, it looks like maybe
a fumble. Albert Gallatin, a player from the Colonials, did come up with the ball.
And it's hard to tell from crowd excitement because it seems like it's just dead.
Yeah, I'm finding out from the PA announcer currently that there has been a fumble, and it is
which is very odd because usually at a home game like this you could
you usually can't even really hear it, but it is going to be a 1st and 10 for Albert Gallatin on the first play of the game, or the first play of the second half, I should say, for Charleroi. There is a fumble. It is recovered by the Colonials. Albert Gallatin now going to take their first snap of the second half. 1st and 10 from the Charleroi 33-yard line. Fabricki in motion. Robinson rolls to the right side. A little bit of a modified option play. And
good defense.
Charleroi is going to sniff that out immediately. That's a great stop. They were towards the end of the second quarter there, Tommy. They were sniffing out a lot of those run plays from Albert Gallatin, getting some nice stops at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and definitely making progress. I mean, we've seen from the beginning of the game to now just how much the defense has been able to evolve to match the Colonial offense. I mean, really, a couple of plays here and there that have been big gainers, but for the most part, it's not big chunks. It's not a progressive movement. It's a lot of spurts.
Albert Gallatin on a 2nd and 11. Robinson's going to snap the ball off to Loring. Loring's going to cut up the middle for a couple yards.
Third down for Colonials. And it's
great defensive stand here for Charleroi to start the second half.
And I didn't think we would have to worry about the Colonials getting 3 and out on their first possession, but we're at that point.
Robinson bringing the play into the huddle for Albert Gallatin. Going to head under center as he usually does. Man in motion. Quick handoff to Loring. Loring's running over some Cougars. He's dragging a couple too, and he is going to be brought down.
And just like that, moving the chains.
Going to be a first down. That's not something, I take that back. You do see that a little more often than not at this point in the game, kind of at all levels, the rushing play on the 3rd and long.
Yeah.
You see a lot of the college. I would say the most you see it in college. But when you have a guy like Loring running the ball.
He's your workhorse.
Might as well go ahead and embrace that and get a first down. Albert Gallatin 1st and 10 from the Cougar 18-yard line. Quick handoff to Fabricki. There's one of those outside runs, Tommy. He's making some progress. He's going to be stopped down looks like right inside the 10-yard line.
And it has to be frustrating for defenses with him because it's like you think you have him.
Yes.
You think you have the personnel in line. You think you have everything covered. They just bounce outside 15 yards.
It's like I said that I don't know if they're I'll have to pay a little bit better attention here in the second half. I don't know if they're like pulling a guard potentially or anything like that, but it just seems like if there's 5 defensive men on Charleroi, there's 7 or 8 blockers for Albert Gallatin, and obviously they don't have that many, but the holes have been incredible. Second one from the 9. Quick handoff, or I take that back. Fake handoff to Loring. It's going to be a pass to the end zone, but a little overthrown.
And he threw that where only his receiver would have a chance if he had a chance. That was a good throw.
That was a smart way smart ball placement. Just a little bit out of reach for that intended receiver. So 3rd and 1 for the Colonials.
159.
159 for attendance. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Due to the restrictions and
That's pretty
limitations.
Good. And we might have a leap into the end zone.
And taking him out into the end zone, number 2, Bruno Fabrici.
Might add another score for Bruno Fabrici. It looks like there is maybe a little bit of debate going on.
Yeah. I thought he had it, but, I mean, our angle is a tough.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough to see. I saw him dive for the pylon, but the question was he. I'm going to say it was a first down. I don't think he got in. Yes, it's going to be first and goal. Looks like it's going to end up being first and goal from.
We'll be placed at about the 2 yard.
2 yards.
You tell me, Tommy, 1 or 2.
We'll go 1.5.
Colonial first down.
I like that. I like that.
Go Cougars!
So just shy of the end zone, probably took a quick step out of bounds on the far side.
8:19 left in the game, and if the Colonials can punch one in here, that's when the mercy rule would come into play.
Yes, I believe it is 36. So it's going to be a keeper from Robinson, probably what you'd expect in this situation. Waiting on a signal, and we have it. That's a touchdown for Albert Gallatin.
And on the quarterback keeper,
So?
the score, number 4, Tristan Robinson.
39-0.
Tommy 39-0.
And this one will count.
8:11 left in the third quarter. Albert Gallatin sneaks out to a 39-0 lead.
Extra point will be number 10, Jace Bowers, holding the snap. Number 4, Tristan Robinson.
Going to go for an extra point. Bowers on the kick. Snaps back. Ball's up, and that's good.
Yeah.
And good. Your score now.
Albert Gallatin's going to go tack on another point onto that lead to be 40-0. 8:11 left in the third quarter. That will engage mercy rule.
And now I'm almost wondering that the Colonials got to that point if they're going to start integrating the younger guys now. Like
Yeah,
we saw against
we
Uniontown.
saw against Uniontown. I definitely wouldn't be surprised. I was having a conversation at halftime, and it actually kind of came up. We were talking about some bench players getting some playing time whenever, on either side.
Yeah.
Whenever you have such a hefty deficit. And that was one point I brought up. I said we called a game against Uniontown 2 weeks ago, and that's all it was.
That's
pretty
exactly
much in the second
what it was,
half.
yeah. Once you get to that threshold.
You might keep your interior linemen, even your whole line, but as far as skill players and quarterback and whatnot, it's pretty much any man's game at that point.
The Colonials, number 10, Jace Bowers, back to receive. Number 1, Brendan Shannon.
Albert Gallatin kicks off to Charleroi. Ball's going to be
Reverse.
returned. Ooh, nice reverse. Oh, he gets a hole, and there goes Charleroi returner. Nice little footwork all the way into Colonial territory. Nice little return
Great
there.
return.
Reverse to success. Found his holes, had his blockers. That's a nice return for Shannon of Charleroi.
And the stop on the run was very questionable because it looked like he had daylight.
He was, like you said, he had daylight there for a second and closed up right at the end. But
regardless, a great return.
Yeah, nice return. Can't ever complain if you're starting in the opponent's territory. 1st and 10 from the Albert Gallatin 42-yard line. Charleroi starting another drive. 7-10 and winding in the third quarter. Hikes back, quick handoff to the left side. Have a bigger man carrying the ball.
Trying to
be
match
brought down on the left side. That's going to be a carry by Edwards. We saw him a little earlier in the game.
Trying to match the Colonial play style of physical downhill runners.
Nice couple yards for Edwards, so 2nd and 7. Second and 7 from the Albert Gallatin 39-yard line. Harps drops back in the shotgun, has a little bit of pressure. Nice toss out, and that's going to be picked
great
off by Bruno
interception.
Fabrici. That was fantastic. That was a fantastic pick. Cuts back to the inside of the field looking for holes, and he's going to bring the ball all the way back.
Wow. He got up for that one. And
he got way up.
You don't see hands like that often in high school football. I mean,
we can pretty much call it now in the third quarter. Bruno Fabrici's definitely a player of the game.
For sure.
He had a fantastic game our last time out against Uniontown, and he's had 2 times the game this time around against Charleroi. So Albert Gallatin takes over. Going to be a 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and I don't know what total we're at with Fabrici. 2 touchdowns tonight? Because the one wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, so I think 2.
That sounds right. So 2 touchdowns, the nice pick, excellent runs, fantastic punt return, fantastic kick return to start the game. Albert Gallatin takes over, 1st and 10, handoff to Loring.
Just like that. 5 yards, 6 yards. Falls forward.
Falls forward.
Lather, rinse, repeat, right?
Yeah, you said it.
Matthew Holt.
Going to bring up 2nd and 4. Running clock, as we said, mercy rule is in effect.
You can definitely tell AG's taking their time to
bleed
get
it
to
away.
the line. Yeah.
Time to bleed it away. Toss to effort on the left side, looking for somewhere to go. He's going to get a couple yards.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down and
Carrying the ball, number 3.
2 maybe?
Effort.
1?
Tackle made by number 3.
Probably
Close.
2.
I'm going
yeah.
to say 2.
Joshua Blackman. Now they bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Colonials. Ball placed at the 46-yard line of Charleroi.
Get 3rd down and 2 from the 46 of the Cougars. See if Albert Gallatin can convert on another 3rd down. Hand off to Loring, and they will convert.
And
I'll tell you what,
4 Charleroi players
see,
down.
He has 4 Charleroi players down. You can see Loring, he kind of holds that ball away from his body.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about, we seen a couple fumbles.
Yeah, we saw one earlier
fumbles
tonight.
I was going to say fumbles are okay whenever you get the ball as much as he does, but he does kind of hold that ball like away from his body, especially
you can
when
tell
he's
he's not a
bringing these
conventional
guys
runner.
down. Yeah. These guys try to bring him down, you know. That's textbook for somebody to roll in there and swipe that ball
And
away.
I did notice on one play just how firm of a grip he does have on the ball in some instances. He was actually dragging somebody who had their hand on the ball. I mean, it's just, I think sometimes in the moment when he's fighting off defenders, it's just you leave the ball exposed.
Yep. Going to be a nice toss to the right side, but we do have a flag in the backfield. That was a run by Cameron Jackson of the Colonials.
72 offense.
Holding on the Colonials, so that play is coming back.
A lot of silence.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Quick handoff to Loring. He almost gains all the penalty yards back. It was a 1st and 21. He's going to get close to making it a 2nd and 10, excuse me.
Number 44, Sean Loring. Tripped up by number 32, Tyler Bursick.
I'm wondering how he had 2nd and 21 if it was a 10-yard penalty.
I think they updated the down. There we go, 2nd and 12 now.
But I don't understand how he got to even 1st and 21 when it was 1st and 10 with a 10-yard penalty. But
oh, okay, well, that's a good point. That's a good point. That is true now that you say that. Now I do see make another. And he
there it is
fumbles the ball
again.
again. That ball was out away from his body. I wanted to break the point that Larkin is into the ball or into the game for Albert Gallatin as quarterback. But I'll tell you, Albert Gallatin appears to recover the ball, but that was another case. He has that ball way out
when
there.
he's fighting, trying to get those extra yards.
He has that ball way out there, and it's gonna. I mean, it's spelled trouble times before, but this just happened to be the first time I really noticed that. So clock rolling here. We're going to end the third quarter in about 45 seconds.
And if there is one thing for Loring to improve on for next year, it would be ball security. I think
Yes.
that's if not the only thing. Oh, we have a fumble on the snap. EG will recover.
Recovered by number 4, Tristan Robinson.
And Robinson's back in the game under center. It looks like that's going to be the end of the third quarter.
Score, Albert Gallatin 40, Charleroi 0.
So Tommy, 40-0 going into the fourth quarter.
Not much to be said. I
was just going to say the same thing. We don't have much to go off of this evening. It has just been more of the same success from Albert Gallatin we've seen this season.
So, just a talking point. How would you recap the season for the Colonials? I mean,
fantastic.
With 12 minutes left in their season, most likely.
Arguably, yeah. There could be
one more
see
game,
another
maybe.
game, but we will see what happens in the days to come here. But yeah, you had to put anything on it. I'd say it's fantastic. I mean, with a shortened season due to COVID, I mean, we're in our 6th game with a 4-1 record. Going to move to 5-1. I don't think that it would take quite a while to look back through the history book, I think, to find the last time that Albert Gallatin had a 1-loss season. So, I mean, what else can you really say?
Exactly.
What else can you really say? It's like we talked about a little bit ago. Albert Gallatin having what we think is a winning season last year.
I want to say it was 5-4.
But, even, winning season's a winning season, don't get me wrong. But, 4 losses is fine.
Yeah.
But, you trim that, go from 4 to 1.
Well, and this is winning in domination.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen the Colonials have a close game at home at all. And, I mean, on the road, it's the same story. So, I don't know. I mean, the one loss to University hurt. I mean, that kind of, don't want to say put a damper on the team because it was an amazing season, but the fact that they could have gone undefeated. I mean, they were one game away. And,
1 game away.
To a team that they beat last year here, if you remember.
I do not remember.
Yeah,
was that the
it
case?
was
Okay.
I think 16-14 win. For,
you know what? That does sound right. Yeah.
So
that does. I do remember that one now. Yeah, because they had a shot there towards the end of the game, I believe.
Yeah.
I do remember that now. Yeah.
I mean, a positive season, something to build off of. Hopefully next year, I mean, they're going to be losing a couple guys, but I mean, for the most part, a lot of their younger guys are going to be back next year.
I think Loring, one of those big names that you'll see next
Loring,
year.
Fabricki.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah,
Fabricki will be back. Effort is a senior this year. Robinson will be back. Dylan Shea, a senior. You see Jace Bowers, that's the kicker. Matsis Chapman, that's a name we've been referencing quite a few times this season. He'll be a senior next year.
So, I mean, if you look at the roster, I mean, a lot of your playmakers, I mean you're losing some, but you're going to get some back.
I was going to say I'd say the only two in this case that we really see a ton of consistently that they'll be losing is Antonio Effort, who's a senior, and Dylan Shea, who's a senior. But everybody else,
Caleb Lang's a name we've called on defense.
Yes, and Caleb Lang is also a senior, so that will be a little bit of a blow on that side of the ball.
I'm not sure what's going on. It just seems like Colonials keep marching backwards, but
yeah, up to a 4th and 14. Albert Gallatin going to go for it on 4th down. Starting to see the
I would say Loring's
reserve
not in the game.
Players in. Ball snapped to the left side. That's going to be a 1st down and then some. We may be into the end zone once again.
That was number 10 for the Colonials, I think. Jace Bowers.
Jace
Bowers, yeah.
Okay.
Kicking extra points and scoring touchdowns.
That's a way to do it. That's a way to do a 22-yard rush on a 4th down.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen Jace Bowers on offense at all this year. Now, last year I remember he had a touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like he might have had like a 2-point conversion or something like that. I feel like he had a little bit more action than just kicking the field goals. But, I mean, he's got a lot now. A touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown.
It's as high as you can go.
Looks like Dylan Shea's
I was going to say, looks like we're going to have Dylan Shea on for an extra point again. He kicked, he had one up against Uniontown, I believe. Snaps back, kick is up, and I don't want to say that one was blocked. It just wasn't quite high enough, but that's okay for a guy that's not actually a kicker. So the score is going to remain 46-0. Albert Gallatin lead, 9:39 left in the 4th quarter. Albert Gallatin nearing a 3rd straight game that they have not allowed a point.
And that's definitely a testament to their defense, obviously, but also their offense for being able to control possession. I think that's definitely a factor.
Absolutely. Albert Gallatin's kick team on the field. Charleroi getting their return. Bowers will kick the ball off after the quick touchdown. Kickoff's away. Going to be returned up the left side from Charleroi. Again, a nice little return.
I mean, they're getting decent starting field position.
Absolutely. Again, a nice return. Shannon on the return for the Cougars. Nine minutes and winding in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it looks like we're changing footballs out. There we go.
Snaps back, run to the right side of the field. It's going to be almost blown up in the backfield.
Yeah,
ran out of a tackle.
Then he met about 3 Colonials ready to stop any movement forward. Clock's still running, about 8:25 left in the game. Maybe the last time we see Charleroi's offense, depending on how the rhythm of the game goes with this running clock. And I mean, the Colonial offense
Right.
being a run-heavy team.
Second and 8 for Charleroi from the 37. Ooh, little. I was going to say fake to the left side. That was a nice play for Charleroi. Shannon's all the way down the left side of the field.
Solid run.
It's obviously a fake. I'm sitting up here trying to figure out where he got the ball. A lot of movement in the backfield results in a nice first down for Charleroi.
Cougar first down, forced out of bounds, number 15, Khalil Tomlin.
Yeah, this is the first real look they've had at scoring possibly. With
This is probably the deepest they've been in opponent territory as Harps rolls out, throws the ball down the right side of the
almost
field.
intercepted.
Ooh. He had him. But Albert Gallatin caught on right at the end.
Pass incomplete, 10 for number 32, Tyler Bursick. Broken up by number 18, Cameron Jackson of the Colonials.
And Harps, I mean, we haven't given him enough credit, I think, tonight of how well he's able to move in the pocket,
Agreed.
throw on the run. I mean, deal with pressure. I mean,
Totally
he has the
agree.
one interception, but, I mean, overall, good game for given the circumstances.
Absolutely. Like I said, he's still making fantastic throws, and he usually has a couple guys in his face when he's making these throws. Hand off to the right side. Another nice game for Charleroi. Down on the right side of the field is going to be
Carrying the ball, number 29, Gianni Pellegrini.
Pellegrini.
Tackle made by number 58, Christian Stout.
looking for the name. They beat me to it.
And definitely a different defense out there for the Colonials right now. A lot of younger guys.
Yeah, this is more than likely where you see, like you said, some of the younger guys. And we still see a lot of guys that started the game for Charleroi.
I think it's out of necessity, partially.
Harps holds the ball in the backfield. Nice little toss to the left side, and it's going to be yardage gain. Another first down for Charleroi.
Charleroi just keeps marching down the field, and, I mean, they're getting these yards, 8 yards, 10 yards, 6 yards. I mean, eventually you have to get to the end zone, right?
Yep. They're on the right track. First and 10 down at the 17-yard line. Nice drive for Charleroi. Toss
Good
to
pass.
the end zone. Great pass.
Oh, he
Ooh.
had him wide open, too. That was definitely I think it was a blown
touchdown.
coverage. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that was a touchdown.
Pass incomplete, off the fingertips of
that was a good route, though. I mean,
Oh yeah, that was a great play. Just
not in sync.
nope.
Now they bring up second down and 10 for the Cougars at the 17-yard line of the Colonials. 4:16 left in the game.
And the clock just keeps winding down. That's
Yep.
one thing with the running clock. You don't realize it, I think, when you're watching a game without it until it's running, and it's just no time.
Harps back in the shotgun, going to throw another pass.
Screen
and
pass.
it's going to be dropped.
And they had the screen set up there. I mean, he had blockers ready to go.
Tyler Bursick. Got to bring up third down for the
Back-to-back passing plays, drop passes. About 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game, winding clock. Charleroi looking at a 3rd and 10 after the nice drive, stalled a little bit. Harps is back, tosses the ball to the left side, and it's dropped again.
He was wide open.
A little bit of a push.
Yeah, I'll say a little bit of a push off, but I mean, regardless, he was wide open.
Yeah. Well, 4th and 17 for the Cougars.
Which is kind of
Or
unbelievable.
4th and 10, excuse me, from the 17.
But it seems like, I mean, they've had 3 good plays,
there,
it seems like. Yeah,
it was there. And these plays that they've ran, to bring up the 4th down have not been unsuccessful.
No.
It's just been drop passes.
Yeah. Great throws.
Great throws, yes. Here's another good one. He's got a man in the end zone, and it's caught.
Touchdown.
It is caught. Touchdown, Charleroi. Brennan Shannon.
He's been
Nice
having
job.
a busy night.
Yeah, that's a nice job. Nice catch by Shannon. Nice throw by Harps. That's good play all around for the Cougars. Yeah, he was due.
Yeah,
He
for
was due.
sure. Yeah, I mean, a busy night for him for sure.
Great route running. I was kind of watching him. I caught him out of the corner of my eye, headed towards the back of the end zone, and he really shook the Albert Gallatin defender.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the defender was out of position
He had
big time.
fantastic separation as the snap is over the head of the holder, and that's going to be brought down. So that's just going to be an unsuccessful kickoff or an unsuccessful extra point try.
46, Charleroi 6 with 2:17 left in the game.
2 minutes and 17 seconds left. Albert Gallatin getting ready to take back over on offense. 46-6 Colonial lead.
With about 2 minutes left, I would have to guess that the Colonials are just going to try to.
I would surely think that it would be bleed out the clock situation.
Unless they have somebody who's either senior wish or
well, yeah, we have seen that.
end of season wishes to score a touchdown or kick a field goal. I mean, we may have special requests last 2 minutes, but besides that, I mean,
we'll see
just
what
overall,
happens.
yeah, I mean.
Waiting for the Charleroi kickoff to Albert Gallatin.
Maybe an onside kick? No.
Great kick.
Yep.
Pinned him all the way down. He received that ball at about the 1 yard line. I believe that's
Bowers.
That Bowers?
Yep.
Yeah, that's one kicker to another.
Another neat thing we're seeing tonight.
Yeah.
I always like the kicker storylines.
Absolutely, yeah. Bowers is definitely a kicker that kind of obviously does it all.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great touchdown run. I mean, definitely made some space.
22-yard run on
yeah.
a 4th down.
50, Joshua Blatnick.
Minute 34 and winding left in the game. Albert Gallatin going to take their 1st and 10. They're at the Charleroi 27-yard line. Quick handoff to the left side. Going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, and I'm thinking, Tommy, it's going to look like a run-out-the-clock situation.
Well, this is our last game, Robbie. Thank you for the great season.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate you. I think this is three consecutive years down, so, yeah, it's nothing but a good time. We appreciate Mr. Nuttall and AGTV as well for putting on the whole show. We just help him.
Colonials will take a knee.
And they're going to take a knee, and that'll be it.
Score, Albert Gallatin, 46.
Well, Tommy, as the clock expires, about 20 seconds left, but they are going to head to the sideline. 46-6 victory for Albert Gallatin. More or less what we've seen all season, just a fantastic game.
All around.
All around.
Yeah, offense, defense, special teams. I mean, a couple special teams blunders here and there, but I mean.
Hey, I mean, you're going to have mistakes.
Yeah.
You're going to have mistakes, and whenever you're playing as dominant as Albert Gallatin is.
Yeah, it's okay.
Brush them off.
Yeah, you can
Brush
have
them
those.
off. Yeah, that's okay. But, again, our final is 46-6. Tommy, I appreciate another good season with you. I'll reiterate on that. Catch us on YouTube. Catch us on FCTV, Channel 77 in the following days. I'm Rob Flockovich alongside Tommy Victor. Thanks for a good season. We'll see you next time.